Hey, dude. All right, one more thing, man. We have to say thank you, dude. You came out here. Until they came out here, you guys really helped us out. This supplies us and helps us repair so many bacs. And right now we're on one of the hotter fronts, and we're losing a lot of these things. So again, thank you. We wanted to give you one of our flags, signed by all the guys here that are going to be working on the drones. We're actually going to add a few more signatures because we got one more place to stop afterwards. And yeah, along with this, there you go.
Thank you.
We'd also like to give you a thank you. I know you don't really care too much about thank you, but it's just a courtesy anyway from the 25th, man. So thanks again, brother. We really appreciate you.
I'm a professional.
You're a professional. Oh, I'm not a professional.
I used to be someone who...
You were in media. Well,
Yeah,
public relations.
I'm not now.
Thank you for your help.
Now I'm in setting up your studio, professional studio.
Professional studio.
It's not a real studio.
Yeah, I'm trying. Stop picking on me, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Because we're on camera.
Because I need your help.
Okay.
Because I need to buy a lot of. I'm trying to stop swearing on the internet.
Okay.
You
need my help to buy a lot of EcoFlows.
Well,
I can
or whatever else.
I can take off my shirt. Will that help?
Not on this platform, but we've been talking about an
What
OnlyFans.
platform?
This is for YouTube.
I think it's gonna work on YouTube though, no?
Right.
Okay, so if he doesn't, after that video, he doesn't have the money to buy EcoFlows, I'm taking off my shirt in the next video, so please subscribe.
And get me demonetized, but I don't get any money off that anyway. Who are you? What the hell do you do? Why are you so cool? Well, to me anyway.
I'm a combat medic in a mortar company in Third Assault. I was a civilian. I volunteered in 2013 when the invasion started, but it was for a year, and then I went to my job and volunteered with the children. I'm a scout leader. And in 2022, when the full-scale invasion started, I tried to volunteer again. It's not that I tried. I was good at volunteering again because I knew a lot of people who were in the army. I knew what they needed, when they needed. I knew how to get it. There were a lot of girls my age, my friends, someone I knew who had no idea about the army stuff, and I helped them because I knew about the army stuff. But that was not enough. There's some voice in your head that says it's not enough. So I joined the Third Assault. I learned I was trained to be a combat medic. I had nothing to do with medicine before in my life. I only knew how to get the first aid to the children I worked with. And I became a combat medic, and I would say a year ago I became a combat medic. Now I'm pretty sure I became a surgeon because I'm in the army, and some people, they come to war. Some people, they want to be in the war, but the fact is you go to the army and you need to make the stuff work, and you need to make do with what happens. And Brandon is one of the people that helps to make do with what is. Sometimes something's missing, something's not enough, and you need to work effectively. You need to do what you need to do. And Brandon here, he's a Rishala, but he's also a person who helps you to do your job. Really do. Not just be there, but do your job. I told him a couple of days ago, this is amazing because the car he bought me, Nissan Patrol, it evacuated not only 300 people, it evacuated 300 Land Rover. It's like an army Land Rover.
British armoured snatch Land Rover broke down.
Yes, and when we got the Land Rover, I told the driver, because I like to read stuff, that Queen Elizabeth, when she was in the army, when she was a mechanic during the World War II, she was a mechanic on similar Land Rover, and my driver, who was like, for fuck's sake, I think it was the same Land Rover. It wasn't. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But the fact is, the Land Rover broke down near the front line, which is no good. It's not good for a Land Rover to break down near the front line. Even it's not armored enough to stand alone near the front line. And the patrol, Brandon got me with the huge wheels. The patrol evacuated the Land Rover all the way from the front line to the shop. So Brandon gets you stuff like that. Brandon is the kind of guy who gets you night vision like just a present. It wasn't even my birthday, he just got me night vision. And when we gave the night vision stuff to the drivers who carry the people and carry the mortars to the front line in the night, they do it in the night, because if you go somewhere near Peters in the day, you die, and you're stupid and you die. So he got the night vision, and it was like Christmas for the drivers who got the night vision. It was like an Indian holiday, and I know they gathered together to test the stuff. We actually had a meeting when they got the night vision, but the meeting stopped because they were, I don't know, playing with night vision. I don't know what they do with it. I'm not even sure, but
This is about you, not about me. I'm cringing. Stop talking about me.
you're not. I'm just telling the truth, and I'm telling that Brandon helps. Brandon really helps to do my job. I'm a medic, so my job is for sure to make sure people know how to help themselves if they're injured, make sure they have quality TACMED to get that help and to get the job done. My job is to help them when they are injured, but people like Brandon, but I work with a small amount of people, but people like Brandon, they help lots of people. And they give a lot of stuff you sometimes cannot get the official way. We get some stuff the official way, of course we do. We have the supplies, but it's never enough with the war. You lose so much shit to shelling, to Peters, to stuff. It breaks, it dies, and what I'm trying to say is what makes me cool. What I was saying, what I was getting to, you asked me why am I so cool, and what I was trying to say, that one of the reasons I'm so cool is because of people like you, because of you actually, and the people I met through you, like Tilda. And because he makes me cool, because when a medic, when a soldier, when a surgeon can do his job, he is cool. That is what makes us cool. When we do our job properly, when we are prepared for everything, when we have everything you need, when you just not say, okay, you don't have tourniquets, just go the way, let's hope you won't get injured. This sucks. This is horrible doing your job. Those people are not cool at all. What makes you a cool sergeant, what makes you a cool commander is the person who does everything he can to get everything they need to get the job done and get the people out safely.
There's now we're done talking about
You? No, we're not.
no. In Ukraine, in the army, where we don't have like mine, if you were a good collector in your rota, in your battalion, it gives you more power. I'm sorry to say, it gives you more safety, because many friends died, many friends live, but when their combat makes a decision with every person, it's like, if I lose this person, I lose 50,000 grivna a month in collection of whatever we need, from tires to tourniquets to, I'm sorry to say this, but
true.
It's like Nika, she's a young girl, we worked together a long time, she lives in Root Cellar for however long. It's like, it's not enough to get her a car, because I refuse to do it officially. If the brigade signs for it, it's not her car. If I refuse to do anything this way. Everything is the person who owns, and you can give it to who you think in your brigade is good. If they're pidoras, give them nothing. Give to the good people who will do good. And this is power in Ukraine, in your unit, because you can keep more people alive and they know that you can keep them alive. I'm sorry to say.
That's true. Yeah, it really is. And
It's not like NATO. This is Ukraine.
I think it's the same thing in NATO. The more you have, the more resources, the more training, the more money, the more successful you are. Third Assault is legendary. Third Assault is strong. Third Assault is successful because a lot of people understand what you understand here. Because a lot of people work to get money and to get stuff. And even if we can't get that from Ministry of Defense, we find a way to get that. We find a way to be effective. Yeah, of course, there are people. There are high morals. There are honor in what we do. But when those people with morals and honor, when they get all the stuff, all the equipment to do their job properly, they are much more effective.
Of course.
Honorable people who have nothing, they will not last long. They can last some time, but not, yeah, they can last, I don't know, a couple of months, like the Azovstal defenders. The only thing they hold on was their honor.
But they had no ammo, they had no food, they went until they had nothing.
Unfortunately, yes, and they could not continue because you have to have that. And this is why it's important to understand. The war cannot be won only with like honorable people. We need ammo, we need proper food, proper nutrition for the soldiers, we need eco-flaws, we need a lot of technical stuff to win the war. It's not enough to be honorable, it's not enough to be prepared and believe what you're doing. You have to have stuff. War is not won by just people. The technology, it's the new war, it's new kind of war, and the technology is...
We need volunteers, smart volunteers. We need, especially with our drones, our antennas, electronic warfare. There is guys in apartments here in Ukraine, civilians who help us, who know more than all the Americans, all the British, because this is where it starts. You know, when you talk about nutrition, you know, and I already know this, but you have become like a mother to these people in your rota, in a company, in a battalion. You tell them to eat, you tell them to take care of themselves. Like
the kind of mother you go to therapy after growing up, because I yell at them. Because it really means sometimes. And I worked like a couple of months to push for the decision to forbid the energy drinks.
What?
Yes. I'm against them.
What do you mean? They're not allowed to drink energy drinks ever?
Except on the positions.
Only on position?
Yes, on position when they're on duty, when they have to shoot the mortar, yes.
But they're not allowed to live on energy drink 24 hours a day anymore?
No. No one's allowed to live on energy drinks 24/7 because they die.
But what about...
You cannot do that.
When they go to Oko to get a hot dog, or they go to get chubareki, they're not allowed to drink energy drink?
No, they can drink water because this is what their body actually needs. Water.
And they follow your orders? Mostly?
No, they follow my commander's orders. They have a commander and he decided that, and they have to do that.
What was the problem with them all? What physically was happening to everybody? Because every Ukrainian guy drinks this stuff called non-stop. It's like Monster energy drinks. Some people drink Red Bull. It's a bit of a luxury. But what is happening to people after 2 years of drinking 3-4 non-stop a day?
First, really horrible for the stomach.
Yes.
Gastritis, pancreatitis, all the kind of inflammation in your stomach.
Bloody shit, like pain, vomiting.
Yes, and the worse it gets, the worse your stomach works with the food you intake. So you can't suction enough nutrition. So even if you start to eat properly, you don't get all the vitamins, everything you need.
They become like anemic, like people with iron deficiency. They become like this.
not only anemic, they have deficiency of all the minerals and vitamins and everything.
The intestine cannot absorb.
Yes. So it's horrible for the stomach. Really horrible. Drinking that all the time. It's horrible for cardiovascular system because the energy drinks, they push the pressure up, and when the pressure is up all the time, this is really bad. This is really
Hypertension,
bad.
always.
Some people like say, some people really say, oh, I have high pressure, I didn't even feel it. No one cares if you feel it. If it's like with the plumbing, when the pressure is too high, the plumbs, they hold on sometime and then they break.
Eventually.
The same with cardiovascular system. You can have high pressure for some time, but eventually the system breaks. And also the sugar, all the stuff with diabetes, the more sugar you intake and the more often you intake the sugar, the worse it is and the bigger chance of diabetes you have. It's horrible. It's really horrible. And there is the dosage, and that's the NATO stuff, and there is the NATO, they all written that there is a dosage of caffeine you can intake in 24 hours that works, that actually works. There is physical ability of I'm not a doctor, I'm really not, but there is a physical ability of our body to intake the caffeine and react the way we want it to react,
yes.
to make us like more active. It's 400 milligrams in 24 hours in extreme situation.
What are these guys with their energy drink? How many milligrams are they held a day?
One of them is like one energy drink,
and they drink 5, 6 a day.
Yeah, so it does not work. It does not work like the caffeine. You can take 1 cup of coffee, second cup of coffee, the third one won't work. So they take one energy drink, maybe the second, but the third doesn't work. So they just intake the sugar and they feel more energy because they just drank a lot of sugar. What's the point?
And they crash.
Yes, so I'm a mean mother. I'm not like caring, nice mother who spoils her children. I am mean.
You start making them do exercise as well.
Most of them did exercises, but yes, there are some who don't see a point, who think if they suffer some injury or have back pain. When you wear a vest, you always have back pain. There is no way you wear the vest and don't have back pain. That's like unreal. All the walking, all the standing.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Raising.
Drivers.
Heavy stuff, yes, driving. You will have back pain if you are in the army.
You drive MK, M113, you have back pain.
Also the knees, when you drive MK, the knees give in because it's really difficult to push all the gas stuff. So, but some people they get back pain and they do something about that, and just drugs, painkillers, they're not enough. They do not solve the problem. You have to do the proper exercises. You have to have the rehabilitation stuff. Yes, the stretches. And most people knew that. Most people do that, but there are some who won't. So yes, I make them do that because they think some people hope for like the magic pill. Some magic drops the doctor is gonna give you. You show him the MRI, he gives you the pills and you're cured. That's not gonna happen.
No.
Physical rehabilitation is hard work. It's really difficult and you have to do it, but it works. It really works. It gets the result. I had an MRI. I had bad back even before the war, but I'm fine now because I do my exercises and I am fine. Nothing hurts most of the time.
You have to have discipline to do this.
Yes. Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult to have discipline after 2 years because our body, our whole systems, they are programmed to be in stress for some time. And when we are in stress, we burn all the resources. We put everything into dealing with stress. But when you are in stress for 2 or 3 years, the resources are finished. You have no more. So this is where the character starts to work. I told you today. Now I find out what kind of soldier I am because I'm in the army for more than 2 years. and the stress, and I'm tired, and some symptoms of my mental health, my body's giving in. All the resources I had, they are done now, they're finished. And this is where I find out the character. This is when I find out how long can I take. Because before, when I was less stressed, I was like, okay, I can do that. I had the resources. Now I find out what kind of person I am, how long can I take. So yeah, I'm a kind of a mother, but I'm kind of a mother who makes them do the right thing to keep their health afloat, because it's not gonna be over 1 day, 3 days, a week, 3 weeks. I'm not sure it's gonna be over in a year. Sometimes I think it might even be 5 years. You know, I cannot predict that. I'm not a
It's not your job.
fortune teller. Yeah, it's definitely not my job. So this is when we start to. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The first months, even the first year, it was a sprint. Faster, sooner, quicker. Now it's a marathon. We should prepare ourselves to the marathon. And the same is with donations, with the charity, because the first year everyone knew about Ukraine. Everyone wanted to donate.
We wasted it. We didn't know.
Yeah, and now the donations are smaller. Smaller people are interested. Now it's not the hot topic anymore. It does not attract some attention now. When the first months of war, when civilians were killed in some big cities like Kyiv and Odessa, a lot of coverage in the news.
Children's hospital gets taken out this summer. It's on American news for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was a cancer ward. There were children with cancer there, and they were taken out of the hospitals they were staying in. For some cancer, children just being outside can be deadly because they have no immune system destroyed by the chemo. And no one talked about that. That Russians hit directly a children's hospital, nothing there except for children, and there was a whole yard full of children. There were doctors in scrubs, covered in blood, injured doctors who did not mind themselves, and they just helped children. And there were some Russians who wrote in the comments, why would we hit them again? Because look, they're all outside. Most of them are alive. Let's hit them again. No one talked about that. But we're still here. We are still fighting, and we still need help. So it's weird to say that you should raise awareness about the war, because like this is the thing, this is the tricky part, because you cannot raise awareness about the war. Everyone knows, but the fact is we still need help. We still need their resources. Men like Brandon, they have more and more people asking for help, because the more he's here, the more people know about him. He meets more people, he meets more soldiers, more brigades, and he has more requests, not less. The requests do not become less, the requests become more. And I think when he just walks out to have a smoke, he has some requests, someone meets him. I'm pretty sure someone can easily recognize him in some small town near the front line. There is a solution for me, because I have a Brandon and a Tilda. I am gonna be fine anyway.
When you tell me this, so you are Treshtomova. It's like everybody in the world who knows anything about Ukraine more than just, stand with Ukraine, they know about your brigade, or they've heard of your brigade. When I meet you, it's because of Christina, your Christina.
Yeah.
I have a Christina. But
when you say that, it sounds like you have some kind of disease. Like,
no.
I have an knee pain. Yeah, I have a knee pain too. I have a Christina. Yeah, I have a Christina too.
But it was Sunika did a course with Christina, and I think because Dimitri, you meet tonight, we have an apartment in Kramatorsk. Still to this day, no one lives there, but it's 1,500 grivna, so let's keep it.
How kind of what kind of shithole you made there?
You know
no
that-
one wants to live there.
Well, no,
You made it worse.
there's like 5 guys that have a key to it.
Okay.
You know, so if someone needs an apartment in Kramatorsk,
Okay.
but like we keep stuff there.
It's
Like
a sex spot. Okay.
I don't know what's there. Like
People
when
have sex there.
probably, but I mean, you know, there could be a box of grenades there. One time I come, there's some RPG. You don't know. It's like Kinder Surprise.
Okay.
But anyway, that's where we met.
Mostly people have sex there, I think.
I unfortunately had no sex there. I think in Donbass it's objectively easier for you to get sex than it is for me to get sex.
It's statistically easier for me.
Yes, very statistically easier. But
There's much more men there.
here it's easier for me because all the real men are dying. And sorry.
Come on.
Anyway, I'm going too dark on this. The point I'm trying to make, when I met you, Third Assault was not a thing. It wasn't, because you come, we are with SSO unit, whatever, never hear of it. And now everybody knows, like, you had to go, how long was your training? I never knew this. You joined Third Assault in like almost the beginning, yeah?
I had 3 weeks. I joined it was still SSO when I joined. I had 3 weeks training with paramedic.
Yes.
Then I had a month's training with the combat medic. But
Yes.
we also had like the tactics and the march and all of that stuff. But we also have some sessions with anesthesiologists, rheumatologists and stuff. And then I had to go 3 weeks official course to get like the papers that I'm a combat medic. Why are you drinking on the video?
I am thirsty. Anyway, dawaj, будь ласка,
So
you're not my mom.
it was okay. It was like 2 months, but I learned you can never be a good enough medic just with training. You work and you learn. I had and this is why the Third Assault is good, because you have a lot of options to train. You're encouraged to get better. I had an option to be on medevac, not only KSAVAC. I had an option to help on stabilization point. I trained a lot and I still train. I hope I still get better. You know, even when you take a soldier to a doctor in a brigade and you go there and he prescribes stuff to the soldier, but he explains to you, the combat medic, what is happening. He explains the condition, so you learn what is happening, you learn what to do, especially you learn what is the critical condition, when you should bring him. If this and this happen, you bring him, and you know the critical conditions, because combat medic is a triage point. Combat medic is a triage point in any capacity. In like sicknesses, in combat situation, whenever it's triage. You are pre-medic. You are someone a little cleverer than usual person. You know a little more, and you know enough to decide whether he needs a doctor or he needs to be evacuated fast, not fast, when, where, and stuff. It's triage, and you can never be educated enough to be good at triage. The more you know, the more you learn, the better you are in the triage. So I'm still learning, and the Third Assault is always trying to get better. This is why we're good. This is why we are so famous, because we want to get better all the time, because we have training and all the training centers we developed. You know, we have our own training center now, where we train the recruits, and they always try to make the better center, better training process, because this is when you die, when you stop training, when you stop learning, like, okay, you know, this piece of shit, this is what happening. Like, look at the war is different from the year ago when you were here with all the reps and stuff. It's totally different.
I send you the message, even from Lviv, I see cars. So many rebs. That's the drone jamming system.
So you have to.
They were new at Christmas.
Yeah. So you have to always try to learn and get better to be in to have a chance to survive. If you don't train, if you don't learn, you cannot survive. So I'm trying to be better every day. I'm trying to learn to get better. I'm not hoping to become a doctor someday. No way. I'm 31 years old. I'm perfectly aware that people start when they're 18 to become a doctor. I'm not becoming a doctor. I'm
No.
just becoming a better combat medic every day. And this is what I want, to be a better combat medic. And I'm grateful to people like you because you helped me do that. You helped me get better. And I don't know, this is important. Please donate to Brandon.
Yeah, actually, that's why we're here to do this video, but I hate hearing this.
I also, I cannot only take off my shirt. I also have a ferret. So if you donate to Brandon, next video, you're gonna see the ferret. You're actually gonna see the next video when he comes.
And where she pisses everywhere and steals socks.
Что такое? Кто хищник? Кто хищник, да.
The ferret, not me. Not me. You're
Yeah.
not seeing that on YouTube. I don't do that.
When we first talked about the truck, you were on the brigade, or at least battalion was pulled away. You were somewhere west, resting and training, and
For
then
2 weeks.
you get pulled into Avdiivka. It's like, oh, rest is over.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks.
I don't know about people, but you lost a lot of equipment in Avdiivka.
Shit ton of equipment. Really a lot. That was tough. But we killed so much speeders. It was like all the guys in infantry and the guys in my mortar company, they have never ever killed so much speeders in like one day. There were tons of them there, and it was a lot of work. It was good work, but we lost fucking really a lot.
Man and machine. Is
But it 1 in 10 torpedoes what we lost in men, because the equipment you can buy new.
Of course.
It burns out, but the men, we lost much less men than torpedoes. 1 to 10. 1 to 10 we lost. Like,
people don't believe this, like, well, maybe they do. You just said it, and I know this from Soledar, from Bakhmut, but whenever they just keep coming though. They have too many. We're depopulating Russia. Like, you want a Russian bride? Any young boys here? I mean, they're crazy, but
this is the important thing, and this is the thing that everyone should understand. I know it's nice to think that Ukraine can't lose. It's nice to say, it's nice for us to hear that we're like undefendable and stuff, unbreakable, the bravest people and stuff, but the fact is we can lose. And if the support stops, we will lose. It's not like they will kill all of us. Of course they won't. No one can kill like 40 million people. It's not possible.
They can
of
try.
course. Yeah, they're trying every day, and no one can I don't think there is a chance that Russia will hold all the territory of Ukraine. Of course, I don't think they even have enough manpower to control the whole territory. Losing part is not about the trenches. Losing part is about the power, because if we don't have enough staff, equipment, men to keep the defenses, I think we will be forced into some peace shit talk. We will be forced to take what they offer, like peace talk. We will be forced to give up not only territory. It's not about territory, to be honest. Some of these territories in question, there is nothing there anymore. No like buildings or anything, no trees. And this is about the freedom, this is about the democracy, this is about giving up what we want to do with our lives.
The language you speak.
The language, yes. This is about our choice to be a part of Europe. This is about our children's choice to be what they want to be. And the worst part is, and the not nice part for you to hear, is that our losing means that many other countries will lose, because if Russia knows that's gonna be okay, that Ukraine, they pushed the Ukraine to give in, if they know that European and Western countries, they let Ukraine lose, they will know that someday the Moldova can lose, that someday Poland can lose, that Latvia and Lithuania can lose, and many more other countries, because they did not attack Ukraine because we speak Ukrainian or because some people spoke Russian in some parts of the country, because no one speaks Russian in Syria and somehow they are there, because they will always find a reason to attack someone. And all this shit they write on their cars on May 9th, when they celebrate the victory in Second World War, they write that they can repeat going to Berlin in 1945, and they are pretty sure they can, and they will. And if they win in Ukraine, some other country is going to be the next, and another and another. And this is not like Ukrainians fighting for Ukraine. This is Ukrainian fighting for the world, when one country cannot just attack another, when democracy, where the law is more important than some crazy maniac and his crazy ideas in his head about Soviet Union or whatever, because no one knows what other empire is in his head and what he believes is to be part of Russia as well. So we need support now. We needed support 2 years ago, for sure, 2.5. But we need support now more, because the chances of losing now are bigger. Unfortunately, they are, and they are real now. And we need the support. We need the voices, and we need to raise awareness about the war that is still going and is not going good at the moment, to be honest. So thank you for everyone who's watching Brandon, who's supporting Brandon, who is supporting people like Brandon, real people, not some people who come to Ukraine to make some photographs.
They come to Kiev, say Slava Ukraine.
For people who do the work, who do the legwork, who know the land, who are not afraid to come to some shitholes, who talk to people, real people in real brigades, not only the popular ones. Yeah, I know I'm from the popular one.
I'm with Zasau Ghetto, Tero.
Yeah, he talks to real people, and they know him and they trust him, because not everyone's gonna ask a foreigner for help. That's a fact. Not everyone trusts the foreigners, and he gets their trust. Even knows the language a little. So thank
Кожен день я вчу українську.
Yeah, he does. He is really getting good. So maybe someday he's gonna understand everything people say about him.
Brandon Huilo, я розумію.
I'm not sure that's gonna be good. But he's real. He's here. He's doing the work, and he knows the work that's cut out for him. So please help him in any way you can.
Thank you. That's like way overselling. I just wanted to... You're my friend, I love you. I mean that. Mentally, I would not be in such a good state now. You were one of the people. On February 24th, they pick, you know who's Paevska? You know who
Of
she
course
is?
I do.
Well, I'm with those kind of celebrities. You know, Ukraine. No, but you need to speak English. You need to be medic background to go to England to speak to the politicians, everyone. And before we go do the big Trafalgar Square, London.
I wanted to go there. I remember that.
I tried to make Mutka free anyway, but my friend Maxime called me, and he's from Avdiivka squad, and he lived at their house in Avdiivka, and he's when I start buying thermals and NVGs, and my friend will go home to his wife, his daughter, and he has legs and arms. Do you understand? I just want you to have I want you to have your legs and arms. I like your legs and arms. That's why I do this.
This is the real military water. That's the only water we get. If you want to know if the volunteer or the soldier is real, if you want to be sure the money goes to a real guy, this is the kind of water he drinks. I haven't drank like any other water for a really long time.
Prozora. It's only zesa voda.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
They wouldn't give us any other water. There are other waters, but they wouldn't give us any. That's the only water we get. I don't know why. It's not the best, but it's just what we get. So if you want to know, the guy is real. The guy have seen the army. This is the water. You cannot. I'm not even sure you can buy that water. This is just what they give us.
Yeah, so I'm stealing water from the armed forces of Ukraine, is what you're saying. I'm taking the water from Limon. Okay, nice.
I'm not saying you stole it. I think someone gave it to you.
We got grabbed yesterday, only a couple kilometers away from me, and I feel home. I just want, this sounds really corny, but if this country has a future, it's not the people who are running it now. It has to be veterans. I'm not saying all veterans will make good government, but it has to be people like you, like my friend, like Christina, not your Christina, my Christina. It has to be people from Azov, from Third Assault, from all over, people who are moral and conscious, and people who will not steal. Because you're doing this for the future of your country, your children. How can people run the country who are stealing from the future in the present? And I don't say the government is so bad here, but it is far from where it needs to be. And for all the people that die, if it's not people like you had a career, public relations, not a politician, but worked in politics. It needs to be people like you, or everyone die for nothing. That's as far as my ideals go. But you're still kind of young. You're 31. My future's over. I'm Dedushka. I'm 38. But there's people in their 20s. They're gonna carry this country through, and as much whatever happens at the end of this, as much of them as possible need to be alive with arms and legs and some mental health. That's other than that, it gets much more personal for me. But
there is a whole bookshelf of books written between the first World War and the Second World War. There is always going to be a question: was it for nothing? Any huge war always raises this question that is over, and there is no point of asking was it for nothing, because this is what happened. This is the reality, and people who ask that was it for nothing, why did they die, this is just a way of obliviating the reality. You don't want to accept what happened, so you try to reason with that. There is no reason it was war. It was a huge war. No one can say they died for something. Why did someone die, or why did someone leave? And there is always a huge problem for people who lived in huge wars, because they cannot understand why better people died and I stayed. But to have a successful country, it's not more veterans in the government, it's more veterans. It's more people who know the price. It's not about choosing a president who won't steal. It's about people who choose the president who thinks stealing is unacceptable. because now lots of people, they participate in some schemes. Now a lot of people they broke in small laws, they stole some small money, they banned the rules, and the more people you have banned in the rules, the more chances that people in the government ban the rules too. It's just more money, more rules they banned, but it's about more veterans who live in this country, more veterans who choose the government, and those people will say, that's not acceptable, please leave. No way, you're not doing that. And I believe in this country. I never wanted to leave this country. I spoke the same English 2.5 years ago. I'm a scout leader. There is a scout network all over the world, and I had, as a scout leader, and I had a pretty good chance to go wherever I wanted. I helped some parents with the children with relocating because I speak English, and I communicated and scout NCOs all over the Europe, and they gave houses. Some scout family gave houses to Ukrainian families, not a room, a house. You get your own house to live. You get the scout community, you get the support. So I had a pretty good chance to leave whenever I wanted. But I didn't want to leave. I always wanted to live in this country. I never considered any kind of relocating. Yes, I think about being on the beach.
Yeah,
when
you want to go to Indonesia, to Bali.
Yeah, I want to go to Bali when it's snowing here in Ukraine. I want to be where it's warm and it's snowing, but thanks to the global warming, it's not snowing as much here. Maybe by the time the war is over, it's gonna be warm here.
And the muddy winters are slowing down the Russian tanks, which is good.
Yeah, so I believe in this country. I believe in this country regardless what is happening now, because I believe this war is shaping the society. Because I heard the statistics recently. We are on a 5th or 6th place in the world when you take the percentage of people involved in volunteering. This is what is happening here. It's not about the government. Government is like 100,000 people. That does not matter. The whole country. Huge percentage of people who are involved in volunteering. Huge percentage of people who think about helping someone else. A huge percentage of people who were involved in the army, and I believe what we need to do it's not about veterans being in the government. It's about that
good volunteers. If you're a good volunteer too.
If you're not a veteran, you're not supposed to be in any good work. You are not supposed to be able to find a job if you were not a veteran. See, it's the same thing, but the angle is different.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like a veteran, and everyone you know is a veteran, and everyone you know is a volunteer. This is how we do. This is how we do better, and I believe it's gonna happen. And I believe good things are gonna happen. I believe we develop. We get better in crisis, because crisis is an opportunity for development, and we used it. I believe we did. It sounds gloom now, for sure. It sounds difficult. It sounds like everything is bad. It's kind of bad, yeah, but we are getting better. We are developing. We are
evolving.
Yeah.
Evolution of your country.
I believe we're evolving. And it's not going to be a revolution. Revolutions don't work. Nothing works in a second. It's about evolution, and we are evolving. And I believe in like 20 years, 30 years, we're going to be as much as European country as any else. And you won't see like, oh, that's Europe too. So it's a European country. No one's going to know like we are different from any other European country. Because the values are the same, and we will come. We will come with the corruption. We will come with the laws, with all of that stuff. We will come with some piece of anarchy we keep in our hearts, because anarchy is a fuel here. but we have the same values now.
No one can stop an
and we
idea
are moving toward.
whose time has come.
My time is up to go.
Give me a hug.
Thank you very much. I was really glad to see you come back.
Thank you.
Come back to Ukraine. Come back to Zoom.
And we'll get some ferret porn for my...
Not porn, just
No,
ferret.
a ferret. Well, ferret is naked. Here, I come out. I give you a hug.